So my cat just like sneezed or cleared his throat or something, and I swear to God, it sounded like a woof. I'm not even kidding. It was really fucking weird. Oh, dude, are we gonna have the talk with Ash about aliens? I freaking hope so. Oh, wait, hold on. Can we talk to Joker? What? Head monitor who? Who? What?
If anyone has to take over for Captain Anderson, I'm glad it's you. I'm not sure about having non-humans on our ship, though.
We're all on the same team here, Presley.
With all due respect, ma'am, that's what they said about Nihilus. Look how that turned out.
Carry on, Presley.
Yes, ma'am.
Dick. Yeah, this one. Experience points.
I prefer gold to silver, you know, for my medal. I figured you'd recommend me for one since I pulled your boots out of the fire.
Put your boots on the fire. Didn't know you had such a silly accent, Seth Green.
If we present you with a medal, you'll end up sitting on stage listening to politicians make speeches for a couple of hours.
That's a good point. They'd probably make me shave, too. I spent the last 7 weeks working on this baby. No medal's worth that. So, Commander, why don't you tell me why you're really here?
I like to know my crew. Mind if I ask you a few questions?
I can see where this is going. You did a background check on me, didn't you? Well, I'll tell you the same thing I told the captain.
What?
You want me as your pilot. I'm not good. I'm not even great. I am the best damn helmsman in the Alliance fleet.
Okay.
Top of my class in flight school, I earned that. All those commendations in my file, I earned every single one. Those weren't given to me as charity for my disease.
What are you talking about? Are you sick?
You mean you didn't know? Oh, crap. Okay, I've got Vrolik syndrome, brittle bone disease. The bones in my legs never develop properly. They're basically hollow, too much force and they'll shatter. Even with crutches and my leg braces, it's hard to get around. One wrong step and crack! It's very dramatic. But I've learned to manage my condition, Commander. Put the Normandy in my hands and I'll make her dance for you. Just don't ask me to get up and dance unless, you know, you like the sound of snapping shin bones.
I need to know more about this Vrolik syndrome if I'm putting my ship in your hands.
Yeah, of course you
Nah.
do. It's an extremely rare condition.
I'm just
Nobody knows
curious.
exactly what causes it. Genetic, maybe. It's treatable, but there's no cure. They classify my case as moderate to severe. I was born with over a dozen fractures. Hip, thighs, ankles. My bones were already breaking in the womb. 100 years ago, I wouldn't have survived past my first year. Lucky for me, modern medical science has turned me into a productive member of society.
100 years ago, that's almost... Is that now? Do you really not survive now? Couldn't we? Metagel, you can slap that shit on anything. Never mind.
I have to go.
Alright, see ya.
Bye, I'm sorry. Socially awkward shepherd. We don't know what the fuck we're talking about. How did I finish that so fast? Okay, so during the break, or maybe was it during last break? A break ago, I filled up this glass and it's already like empty. Whoops. You might be an alcoholic if... I'm gonna look attractive over here,
Commander,
under the
do
light.
you have a minute?
Yeah?
I always make time for my officers.
Off the record, I think there's something wrong here. This Saren is
Oh.
looking for records on some kind of galactic extinction, but we can't get backup from the Council? Sorry, Commander. There's writing on the wall here, but someone isn't reading it.
We'll get things done. I'd rather operate independently than have the brass on our backs anyway.
I hear you. It just seems like a group that's been around as long as the Council should see this coming. It's funny, we finally get out here, and the final frontier was already settled. And the residents don't even seem impressed by the view. Or the dangers.
I feel like if I do that, you guys will be really mad at me later. That wasn't words. Oh, I could do it. I'm not gonna fucking do it.
Well, well. You're a romantic. Did you sign on for the dream, Malenko? Secure a man's future in space?
Yeah, I read a lot of those books when I was a kid, where the hero goes to space to prove himself worthy of a woman he loves, or, you know, for justice. Maybe I was a romantic in the beginning, but I thought about it after brain camp. Biotic acclimation and temperance training. I'm not looking for the dream. I just want to do some good. See what's out here. Sorry if I got too informal. Protocol wasn't a big focus back in Bot.
Tell me about it.
Biotic acclimation and temperance didn't last past the airlock. To the kids they hauled in, it was brain camp. Sorry, hauled in is unkind. We were encouraged to commit to an evaluation of our abilities, so an understanding of biotics.
That's a mouthful.
Compiled. There are worse results of accidental exposure to element 0 in the womb.
ESO.
Beats the brain tumors some kids grew up with.
Is there some question about how you were exposed?
My mother was downwind of a transport crash. It was before there were human biotics, a little after the discovery of the Martian ruins. It only gets iffy around 63 when Kinetics
That's
was running
2063.
Until then, they'd relied on accidentals. Bunch of guys in suits show up at your door after school, and next thing you know, you're out on Jump Zero.
Jump Zero is Gagarin Station, right? What's it like?
Yeah, that's the official name. Biggest and farthest facility we had for decades. Right on the termination shock, the outer edge of the solar system. It's where they did all the Goose Chase FTL research before we caught on to using mass effect fields. It was a sterile research platform when I was there.
You know of any intentional exposures for certain?
No one knows. Doesn't mean they didn't happen. As big as the exposures were, it was hard to track down accidentals. It was different then. No one knew the potential, so there wasn't a lot of regulation. Anything Kinetics did was gold. I'm not saying they intentionally detonated drives over our outposts, but in retrospect, they were damn quick on the scene.
There were other kids in the same boat, right? At least you weren't alone out there.
That's true. We did have a little circle that'd get together every night before lights out. We didn't have much to do, though. It was a research platform then, and Kinetics kept Jump Zero off the extranet to prevent leaks.
Then you must have had plenty of time to get to know each other.
Yeah, we'd sit around and bull every night after dinner, play cards or network games.
Network game.
There was this girl named Rana, who had a little circle grow up around her. She was from Turkey. Her family was very rich. But she was smart and charming as hell. Beautiful, but not stuck up about it. Like you, I guess. Ma'am.
Like you, I guess. Oh.
Sounds like she was special to you.
She was. Maybe she felt the same. But things never felt together. Training, you know.
Jump Zero's a long way from home. What was it like?
The grand gateway to humanity looks a lot better in the vids. Anyway, this was supposed to be a casual debrief, not a bull session about stuff that happened years ago.
I wanted to get to know you a little better, that's all. Thanks for the talk, Kaidan.
Well, you're welcome, ma'am. You, make a habit of getting this personal with everyone?
Yeah?
No, I don't.
Oh.
We'll talk again later.
It's not what I wanted to say, but okay.
I'll need some time to process that, Commander. But, yeah, I'd like that.
I'd like to be romantical with you, Shepard, because you're Commander motherfucking Shepard. I mean, come on. Okay, sleeper baths, that's it. Oh my god. The Normandy SR-1 is so small. It's itty bitty. Metagel plus 0. You were already full, you dumbass.
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
None of those.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
Go. I just wanted to know how Liara was. My blue nerd.
Commander, are you coming to check up on me?
You look much better. How are you feeling?
Dr. Chakwas assures me I am going to be fine. I was impressed with her knowledge of Asari physiology.
Goodbye.
You're in good hands. Dr. Chakwas knows what she's doing.
I never properly thanked you for saving me from the Geth, Commander. If you hadn't shown up...
Dr. Chakwas is almost as exciting to say as Dr. Crusher. And you know, they're both like the same amount of badass, so...
I'm just glad we got there in time.
So am I. I know you took a chance bringing me aboard this ship. I have seen the way your crew looks at me. They do not trust me. But I am not like Benezia. I will do whatever I can to help you stop Saren. I promise.
Don't worry, Liara. I trust you. I know you won't let me down.
It means a lot to hear you say that, Commander. Thank you.
Actually, while we're here...
Tell me about yourself, Liara.
Me? I am afraid I am not very interesting, Commander. I spend most of my time on remote digs, unearthing mundane items buried in long-forgotten Prothean ruins.
You must enjoy something about it.
I love my work. Seeking out history's lost secrets has a special appeal for me. You were actually touched by working Prothean technology. That is why I find you so fascinating, Commander.
Sounds like you want to dissect me in a lab somewhere.
What? No, I did not mean to insinuate. I never meant to offend you, Shepard. I only meant that you would be an interesting specimen for an in-depth study. No, that's even worse.
Sorry. Sorry, I don't know why I'm finding this so funny. I've heard this like 12,000 times. Okay.
Calm down, Liara. I was only joking.
Joking? Oh, by the goddess, how could I be so dense? You must think I am a complete and utter fool. Now you
you're
know why I prefer
adorable.
to spend my time in the field with data disks
Sorry.
and computers. I always seem to say something embarrassing around other people. Please, just pretend this conversation never happened.
Okay, so do you see how one could possibly not be like floored by that adorableness?
I'd like to know more about the Asari.
We were the first species to discover the Citadel. We were instrumental in forming the Council, and we always strive to be the voice of peaceful cooperation in galactic disputes.
Like, what a fucking
My people
nerd.
believe we are all part of a single galactic community. Each species contributes something to the greater whole.
So cute.
Although we seek to understand other species, it seems few of them seek to understand us. The galaxy is filled with rumors and misinformation about my people.
Dude, that's sad as nuts. What the fuck are you talking about?
Like what?
Most of the inaccuracies are centered around our mating rituals. My species is monogendered. Male and female have no real meaning for us. We still require a partner to reproduce. This second parent, however, may be of any species and any gender.
Okay, so... Side note, even though the game developers were like, oh, they're monogender, They were like, let's totally make her look like a woman because an alien species would totally look like humans completely, except they're blue and have weird head tails. That's literally the only difference anatomically between humans and Asari. They're blue and they have the head tails. That's the only difference. Well, I mean, and they live 1,000 years, but yeah, so game devs, can you not? That'd be great.
I don't understand. Your species can mate with anyone?
Mating is not quite the proper term, not as you understand it. Physical contact may or may not be involved, but it is not an essential element of the union. The true connection is mental. Our physiology allows us to meld with other beings. We can touch the very depths of their minds. We explore the genetic memory of their species. We share the most basic elements of their individual and racial identities. We then pass these traits on to our daughters. It is how we learn to grow as a species and how we develop a greater understanding of other races.
What happens to your partner after the union?
Every relationship is different. Some unions are a single encounter with both parents parting ways afterwards. Others can be more long-term. Sometimes an Asari and her partner will stay together for many decades.
You Asari live for 1,000 years. What happens when your partner dies?
We cry a
Few
little bit and
sapient
then get
species
over
live
it.
as long as my kind. We have learned to take a philosophical approach to our unions. We do not focus on the inevitable loss of our partners. Instead, we enjoy the time we spend with them. And even after they're
Sad
gone,
still.
a part of them lives on in us. The union is a connection that transcends both time and space.
Now I'm having feelings about a different shepherd that isn't this one, because we're not gonna romance Liara. Father, you anthropocentric bag of
Do you know who
dicks.
Matriarch Benezia chose as her partner?
She rarely spoke of her partner. Though I know my father, if you want to use that term, was another Asari.
Benezia never told you her partner's name?
Union with our own kind is no longer common, not for the purposes of reproduction. Most Asari believe it weakens our species. Asari daughters inherit racial traits from the father species. If both parents are Asari, then nothing has been gained, or so conventional wisdom would hold. I am what is sometimes called a pureblood, though no Asari would ever be cruel enough to say the word to my face. It is a great insult among my people. It is possible Benezia's partner was embarrassed by their union. She may have been too ashamed to publicly acknowledge me as her offspring.
That's not true. Okay, but side note. Okay, so in Mass Effect 2, this is kind of a thing they discuss a little bit more. They elaborate on it. But basically what Liara just said about how Asari think that like pure Asari are weaker is totally not true, because Liara is kind of a badass, and she like has the ability to like science her way through like everything, and also biotics her way through everything. So she kind of kicks a lot of ass and takes a lot of names.
Maybe she wanted to meet you but couldn't. Maybe something could have happened to her. Maybe she passed away.
You might be right. I hope you are. But I have no way to know for sure. Benezia never spoke of her partner. Whatever happened, it caused her too much pain to dwell on it. She raised me by herself, though that is not uncommon. Many Asari raise their children alone, particularly if the father species is short-lived. Often the partner will pass on long before the child reaches maturity.
Didn't I? Okay.
Do you know why Benezia joined up with Saren?
I have no
I don't
idea.
understand it. She was always outspoken about the need for the Asari to become more involved in shaping galactic events. Maybe she thought aligning herself
Why
with
was that
Saren
one
would somehow
line,
be
like,
for the
louder?
greater good in the long run. At least I hope so.
Maybe she's just evil. What an
This
asshole.
hurts you, doesn't it?
None of this makes any sense to me.
This hurts me.
I have not spoken to Benezia in many years.
Harbinger
but I know
says
her,
that later.
and this was not like her.
Who's Harbinger, you
Something
say?
changed.
It's a big deal. Okay, well that's literally all the things I can ask you
I should
about,
go.
so...
Goodbye, Shepard.
Okay. Should we do Ashley right now or do her later? We're gonna do the elevator, and then we're gonna do Ashley in the next episode. Ashley happens. I'll see you guys later.